my favourite places. It used to be a jungle here. We used to carry stones all the way from the back garden. Then we brought it to here. It was such hard work and it really pays off. One thing that we all love about Grandma's house is the amount of space we have to have fun. One thing that we always do is have races. Thank you, Tyler. Marks, get set, go! Let's race to the top. Yes, get ready, steady, drive.
One of the reasons I like this house is that I spent a lot of time building it to a typical Zimbabwean home. And the reason why I want my grandchildren here every weekend is so that they get used to being with each other, because they are from different parents and you can't tell that when you see them together. Now, part of being here is learning about their culture. Taylor, bring some water, please. Okay. My grandchildren really like Mbwire. Mbwire is made from roasting maize. You know, the dry maize. You roast it and get rid of the husks and the burnt bits. And then you put it in this. Let me start a little bit. When you start off, you have to do it really gently because they just jump out. And anything which is overflown in Zimbabwe, you let the chickens coming in to eat. Even, do you want to try? Do you feel left out, Dylan? After some time, it will be powdery. So you take the powder and mix it with sugar, and then you eat it like sherbet. But you have to be careful how you eat mbwire, because you can choke on it quite easily. What do you think, guys?
It smells nice. It feels warm as well.
Does it?
Yeah, the smell makes it feel warm. Crazy.
Who has eaten mbwire before?
Me.
Did you choke?
No.
Okay.
It's powdery.
Now, who wants to go and play?
Me.
Put the phone.
Jump like this. I didn't. I need to jump like that.
The serious consequences for me is that I've lost my nursing career. I have always been a nurse since I came to UK, and that is a big loss for me. Because working as a nurse also enabled me to do many other things which I can't do now. Now, the other significant loss for me is for my in-laws, because my in-laws have always been very supportive of us, and they live in Ireland. They only had 2 children, both of them are in this country. So our plan was that either they move in with us and use my consulting room. Now I can't even dare bring them over because I don't know when we are going to lose the house. That will be disruptive. And I just sit here feeling very guilty about that. And I keep asking myself, what exactly did I do for people in the Priory to treat me in this way? Now, this business of living in limbo has been very stressful for me. It's now a year since I was fired, and each day I don't know what's going to happen. We have a christening in July. I don't even know whether we'll still be here. Now, if I lose my house, I really don't know what I will do, because I've put every effort in my house. I've said before, if you look around, it represents a lot about my Zimbabwean culture. Now, right from the beginning when we bought the house, it was 3 months after my eldest brother died. So for me, that was very significant. And everywhere there's a memory, there's a history, and that history will be totally lost. Now, the main thing which makes it unbearable for me is the fact that my grandchildren will not have the space which they have right now. I really do not know what I'm going to do, because I can cope with it if I'm losing the house because of my fault. But to be victimized the way I was, where there's evidence but nobody's bothered to try and question what is going on, I really don't know what I'm going to do with the anger I feel right now. So it is tough. What I'm saying is, the Priory, I'm coming to see you, because if I don't do this, I might end up being destructive to myself. I didn't do this to myself, and I'm not going to cause problems for my children and my grandchildren just because some people can treat other people. They are allowed in this country to treat people the way they do.
This is Ethan and AJ's room when they come to visit, with all their lovely toys in their bed. They've got a radio because they like listening to music, so it's fitted to their type of style. Then Dylan and his mummy's room. We have our own bathroom, which gets used. There's all the bath and shower, because we like showers, very quick. And then in my room and Kai's room, I sleep here in this bed and Kai sleeps there. In Brendan's bedroom. And posters. And then our grandparents' bedroom, which you have seen. I'm going to do a tour of the downstairs house. This is the sun lounge, also known as the kids' lounge. We have the advantage of having the front garden, and we have disco lights, but they only work when you talk or stomp. This is the porch, which is a tent in it which we take out when we play. That's me, my mum, my two uncles, my nan, my uncles and my auntie, my mum and me. My nan, my mum and my auntie, and me. This is the adults' lounge. It's mainly used for the adults, but sometimes we invade it. This is my nan's collection of Chinese pottery with some Chinese dishes. And this is her collection of chess. This is the downstairs toilet, and it was designed by Uncle Derek, who is my granddad's brother. And this is the utility. And that's all. Thank you.
For the conclusion, we will ask Sky to help us. This is Sky. She's our 6th A-team member. Sky is 8 weeks old. She was born 10 weeks prematurely. Now, when Sky was born, she had to be kept in the incubator for 6 weeks. And she was attached to a lot of wires which sent off a blip. And when it blipped, the nurses would come running and try to sort out what the problem was. So Sky tells us about what it is like to be vulnerable and to depend on other people. Now, in this greenhouse, this is my incubator. I bring in plants which I feel that are vulnerable. For example, this is maize. It's grown in hot countries, so I have to grow it in here first before I can take it out, because it needs more months than corn. And the pumpkins is the same thing. I will be transferring them once they are bigger and the weather has improved. Now, I have to make sure that I protect them in here, because you could have slugs coming to eat. And sometimes if you leave the door open, the squirrels come in, they dig and eat the seed, and the corn is destroyed. Now, what is the connection with the Priory? The connection with the Priory is that I told them that I was vulnerable. I joined the Priory on the 5th of December. By January, I was experiencing a lot of unfair treatment. I told the Priory that I was being treated unfairly and they needed to protect me. The Priory, as a group, failed me. They let the abuse carry on, the discrimination and unfair treatment and victimization. I was set up, and the Priory took the word of the people who set me up, instead of looking at my work and talking to the people I work with, so that they had a clear picture of what had been going on, but they didn't. All they relied on was the evidence of the people I was complaining about, and that wasn't on. And now I've gone to so many organizations, and it seems that nobody in the whole of UK, nobody can actually say that was wrong. Can we look at it? I can't believe the country I'm living in. So at the moment, I'm very angry. Now, you have seen my home, and looking at my home, put yourself in my shoes. If it were you, how would you feel?